back to MHS Behind the Curtain. I'm Gina Czochara. We have a very special guest with us here today, Miss Dunneback. Welcome, Miss Dunneback.
Good morning, Gina.
So Miss Dunneback's here with us today. She's going to tell us a little bit about her background with Marist, why she came to Marist, and some things you might not know about her. So Miss Dunneback, could you tell us a little bit about your background with Marist before you were the principal here?
Sure. I was introduced to Marist Chicago from a college friend. I went to St. Mary's College in South Bend, and one of my really close friends was a guy who graduated from Notre Dame, and he lived in Oak Lawn. And I was back home in New York. I grew up in the Hudson Valley of New York, and my high school actually was not a Marist school, but we had a lot of Marist brothers that taught there. Went to John A. Coleman High School. And so I was familiar with the Marist brothers. Anyway, my friend from Oak Lawn called me up and said, I don't know if you know, but we are looking for a English teacher at Marist in Chicago. My brother John went there. He actually went to another school. And his brother came here, so his mom walked my resume in, and I actually called up and within a couple of days flew out here for an interview. I didn't know anyone in Chicago. I just decided to whimsically move here for a year to get some teaching experience because I was looking to be a teacher.
Gotcha.
After college, yeah.
Nice. And how was that move from New York to Chicago? What is it? Was it a big switch? Was it
I think I
pace?
cried most of the way out here because I was super close with my family, and it was a challenge, like a personal challenge. But again, I thought I would do it for a year or two, and never in my wildest dreams did I think that I'd be living away from my immediate family, because I'm one of 4 kids. So I have 2 brothers and a sister, and my mom and dad, aunts, uncles. Everything for me is in New York.
Nice. Okay. And so you taught at Marist, and then you left, and then you came back as principal. So how long were you gone from teaching and coming back as principal?
Sure. So I was here when it was all boys, and I taught English for 6 years. And when I was here, Brother Vito and I actually were the 2 people who Mr. Tucker said we needed to do a different kind of program for all different types of learners that were coming into Marist. So Brother Vito and I are the ones that really kind of came up with the idea of the Marceline program, which to me is something I'm pretty proud of. But believe me, I left Marist, and that program has been taken on by so many others who have contributed to it. So I don't take total credit for it, but I definitely was there for the inception of the Marceline program. And so I was here 6 years, and then I got an opportunity at a public school, and I really kind of wanted to try it. And that public school is Richards High School, District 218, which is kind of right down the road from here.
Yes, it is. Super close.
What's funny is when I moved here, I lived in the city. I always would drive out to Chicago or to Marist. And so when I found out about the job at Richards, I legit said, where is Richards High School? So I didn't even know where it was.
Oh, wow.
When I went for the interview. But yeah, I started teaching English there, and then I moved on to some administrative roles. I was a dean of discipline there. I was an assistant principal of curriculum and instruction, kind of like what Miss Gaffney does here. And I know a lot of you probably don't know what Mrs. Gaffney does, but she works with the teachers. So did a lot of different things over there, and then heard about the opening here, which was, you know, Marist has never left me, and all of you can attest to that if you are a student who enjoys coming to Marist, which I hope you do. It's in you, and it's in your heart. So I think that I kind of was like, why not? Why not go for it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So what was it like coming back to Marist? Like, how has Marist changed and evolved from the time that you were gone to now?
There are a few more students here. I think when I left it was a little over 1,200, almost 1,300, so there's a little bit more students, but there's also girls. It was all boys when I was here, and so that's a good thing that there are girls here. It's co-ed, it's not single sex. It worked while it worked, but I think that the school for sure is much stronger because of the addition of the girls.
Gotcha. And you talked a little bit about your reason for switching, that Marist was always in you and some different things like that. But how was the transition coming back from Richards to here? Was there like a moment that you knew you made the right decision? Was it a hard decision to come back? Could you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. I tend to be a little bit of an open book. I can tell you the day that I came for the interview, I still was kind of like shaking like a leaf, and I pulled up out front, and I thought, what am I doing? I'm super happy at my current job, which I was super happy. And I walked in, and Mrs. Lawrencell met me, and she said, they're running a little behind. They're going to be asking that you wait over here. And I said to her, okay. While I was sitting there, I said, I'm going to go in the chapel. And I sat in the chapel, and a good move and it was a bad move. It was a good move because it calmed my nerves.
Sure.
It was a bad move because I knew right then and there, like if they ever offered me this job, it's a strong possibility that I might take it. And that just means flipping a lot upside down in my life.
Gotcha. Well, thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
You have a pretty unique experience here having your children here. So could you tell us a little bit about how family might have impacted your decision and what it's like seeing family around the building every day?
Well, I'm married to a Marist graduate. I actually met my husband here, which is another crazy story, but that's for a different show.
Okay, yes, we'll definitely have you back.
Yeah, you have to come back and explain that one. But when I found out about the job, like I just said, I'm pretty, I think it's really important to be open with your kids. So, I mean, the four of us sat down. I have two kids and my husband. The four of us sat down, and I wanted to know their opinions, wanted to know if they were okay with it. And initially, I think there was a little bit of a knee-jerk, like, wait, what? Like, you're going to be that person at my school? I don't know about this. But I have to say, my daughter said to me, you know, I'm only going to be there 2 years. I think it would be really cool. And then she said, and I think you'd be really good at it. And it just like, that was
stuck
so,
with you,
it was
that
so,
moment.
It was just so great that she said that.
Oh, that's such an awesome moment. I'm glad that your family was able to be a part of your decision. Yeah, for sure. So I know you also mentioned a little bit how you helped to start up the Marsland program. Now that you're back here at Marist, are there any changes that you hope to make?
You know, it's not like you come in, at least for me, you come in with this huge, wide vision to change the place, because Marist is a great place as it is, but you always want to kind of roll with or see what's happening out there in the world. And so for me, I know Marist has always been really proud to call itself a college prep school, and I think it prepares kids for college. Any of you that have brothers and sisters or cousins or anyone that you know, friends that went on to college, I think they feel prepared when they're in college, which is awesome, and that's what we're supposed to do while you're here for these 4 years. But I also want to kind of explore the career avenue. I mean, this class that you're taking right now, it allows you to kind of be introduced to some of the things you'd have to do in the world of broadcasting. So besides in the world of broadcasting, or besides senior religion class, being able to go out for senior service, and that's connected to ministries and things like that, you know, what other careers are out there, and how could we maybe alter some things to make sure that you're exposed to some of those? I think that's kind of important, because I think the world has changed since I taught here back so long ago. Even the last 5 or 10 years, the kids are maybe, you know, choosing different pathways than just going straight to university. So want to be able to, whoever chooses whatever path, Marist wants to be prepared for that student.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm a senior here at Marist, and Marist has definitely helped me to feel prepared, but I think the implementing different career paths would definitely be a great idea to implement into Marist.
Yeah, and it will take a little while. I mean, I'm sure that some kids are like, oh, great. Next year, what am I going to be doing?
Of
so
course,
it doesn't.
yeah.
It takes a little bit of time to do stuff like that. Change doesn't just happen, and I know you guys are part of the point and click and get it generation,
Yes.
but it doesn't always happen.
Okay, so we have to ask, so the Are You With Me, where did it come from? How did it start? And could you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. If you remember last year, we had a different schedule, and we had the open periods. We had a lot of different things going on, and again, I was new. And so I said I wanted to do some videos to get the word out to the students. And I know that when I make my videos, I say that I feel like I'm talking to each individual kid, and I really do feel like that. Sorry, I touched the mic. But I really wanted to make a video and have it feel like I was speaking to each one of you. So I tried with my selfie stick in the hallway. This looks cool in the background with the lockers. Like, I tried all these different things. And so I decided to do it in the ARC, and while I was talking into my own phone, I just kept saying, "Are you with me?" And I would talk about this, and I'd say, "Are you with me? Are you with me?" And my daughter was like, "You know, you keep saying, 'Are you with me?' You've got to stop saying that." And I was like, actually, I think I'm going to use that.
Yes.
I think I'm going to use it as like a little tag, like, "Are you with me?" And for our alumni, like, "Are you with us?" And so last year it was a thing, but I also think it became an overdone thing, and I know working with teenagers, anything that's overdone gets really lame really quick. And so I didn't want to overdo it. So I do use it, but I only kind of reach for it at certain times, if that makes sense.
So it's more of a once in a while thing now.
Yeah, it's still there, but I think the more you do anything, kind of like right now that I'm very much about just say hi, you know, and I already have kids like, hey, see you in the hallway, just say hi. And you don't want to overdo anything when it comes to dealing with teenage kids.
Of course. Well, I hope you stay with Ms. Dunneback throughout the year, and I hope you stay with us here at MHS. Thank you so much for coming and being an interviewee today. It was so great having you. Is there anything you want to tell the students before we leave?
No, just keep being you here at Marist.
Thank you so much for tuning in. This is MHS Behind the Curtain.